Beauty and the Beast. 6 cost, 5/6. Forest Legendary. That art's pretty intense. Fanfare. Gain 2/2 if you have at least 5 cards in your hand. Gain resistance to damage and destruction from spells and effects if you have at least 3 neutral cards in your hand. So this card not only is for hand forest, but it's for neutral hand forest. It becomes indestructible if you're playing neutral forest, which is it's pretty intense. You can still kill it by trading into it, but I guess this is that neutral forest support. There's another card that's like, it's pretty insane, I think, if you're playing neutral forest. But this card's good. I don't even think you need to be running neutral forest for it. For 6, you can get a 7/8. So he's fine in just normal hand forest as well. But he's pretty good in actual like neutral. I'll give this card a good rating. It's usable across the board. Does it resist Bane? I think so, yes. Because it resists destruction from spells and effects. You can still kill it by trading, I guess, but Bane shouldn't work on it. Don't quote me on that, though. I don't know. Let's move on. I'm giving this card a good rating. Maybe even meta, because like every forest deck is probably going to be running this. Maybe. Yeah, probably. Fairy Dragon. What's this? A 2 cost 0/4 with ward? Fanfare. Add X to this follower's attack. The value equals the number of allied fairies that have been destroyed during this match. Yo, this thing, during the entire match, all your little 1/1 fairies that have died, this thing gains all their power. Oh my. And it's got ward. If Forest had a way to give things Storm, this would be pretty busted. It would be like Roach on steroids, but this thing doesn't have Storm, so that's fine. You're gonna really want to play this if you're playing any kind of like tempo forest. The 4 life makes it really annoying to kill. He doesn't really die to any spells. They'll have to actually commit to like trading or running things in to kill it and then a spell. He's got the Ouroboros life, right? Where if you fight him with almost anything, it dies. But no spells work until you trade something in, unless you have dance or something. So this card will be ran in tempo. I don't think you'll run it in normal forest though, because it'll mess with your Roach memes. But tempo might consider this. Who knows? Or yeah, Fairy Cage meta. We'll get onto that. Fairies are getting some good support. So for now, pending. I'll come back to Fairy Dragon. Fairy Driver. I hate this card. I absolutely despise this card. Not only is his art infuriating, but he reminds me of someone from this anime. He reminds me so much of the dude from School Days. Well, not the dude from School Days, his dad. He looks just like his dad, who's just as bad as him. But that's a whole nother video. 4 cost 3/3. Whenever an allied fairy comes into play, give it +1 and Storm until the end of the turn. This dude is basically a better Elf of the Gemstones. Kind of. Not really. But he gives Storm to fairies, so they become 2/1s instead of, 1/1s. And they get Storm. And he only costs 4. His stats are okay-ish, but the Storm damage is pretty good. You have to keep in mind, a lot of the time, the Roaches just need like 1 or 2 damage, and then they can easily do a good 16 damage. Easily. Doing more is a little bit difficult, but this is another card for Tempo Forest. You'll get to use the fairies to trade, just boom, boom, boom. Free trades pretty much. Elf of the Gemstones was the same thing, but with Rush. These can actually go face. So, as much as I hate to say it, I have to give this guy a pretty good rating. Just because I think everyone's gonna try it out. He's got Fairy Synergy. Fairy Cage is now the dream meme. Him, Fairy Cage. The problem is you need a full hand. Play him with Fairy Princess, and then you just destroy faces. If he actually manages to live a turn, and you play fairies, you can just keep storming and storming and storming and then roaching. You shouldn't have Vial the Fairy Cage. Yeah, this dude is good as much as I hate to admit it. I also hate his art. Whoever drew this art did a very good job of making me hate this dude. 0 cost from EMP plus Roach seems good. Oh yeah. Because when you think about it, the fairies from the EMP, the Elven Princess Mage, you just play them for Roach damage. Now you play them for face damage too. Alright, let's move on. Good card, but I absolutely despise this dude. Just from looking at him. Oh, he's tilting me. But let's move on. Magical Fairy Lilac. 3 cost, 1/4. The power creep continues. Clash. Destroy the enemy follower, then remove this follower's clash ability. This card is probably meta. This card is probably pretty meta for Forest. I don't think any Forest would not run this. Just because not only is she overstatted, but she's going to kill anything she wants. Of course, the opponent can play around that by running in a little baby 1/1 or something, and then she loses her effect. But if you evo her with like your free Aaron evos or something, she's just going to destroy. She will just destroy. Yeah, the three slot is pretty crowded if you're playing Roach memes, right? You have elves. Elves are like in every. If you're not running ancient elves, you're already losing. There's Grimnirs. There's goblin mages. Gobu Gobu. So 3 is pretty crowded, but I think people might actually make room for this card. Does she regain the clash on Evo? No. She does not. I'm pretty sure she doesn't. I don't think this is a card you play on curve though, just because the opponent can take you out. She might be better later on. For tempo she seems good again, but yeah, the 3 slot is pretty contested in Forest. She seems pretty good. I'm tempted to give her meta, just because I think this effect is bonkers. But again, people can play around it by trading in. Let's move on. This card. Oh, this card. When I first saw this thing, I was like, explode. My head just exploded. Alright, so for 2 cost, you deal X damage to a random enemy follower. Just 2 random ones. X equals the number of neutral cards in your hand. So this thing can potentially do, let's do some math, like what, 4 damage randomly? This is the answer to the power creep. But, I mean, for that you need 4 neutrals in hand. And they do it to 2 followers. Rem and Ram? Yup. That's pretty much the card, yeah. Ram is awful. Rem is good. But this is the answer to the power creep 1/4s. If you're playing neutral Forest, you're gonna run this card 100%. It'll help you clear the board so easily, but it's only good in neutral Forest, so niche. Move on. They're fired at the same time. Oh damn, that actually might suck. But if they do a ton of damage, it doesn't even matter. They'll kill one thing. Not deal X twice. Actually, they can hit the same thing then. That might suck. Still, it's still niche then. So yeah, oh yeah, that's fine. But only if it hits. If it hits 2 things, no matter what, that's fine. If it stacks on 1, that might be bad. But if it kills, that's good. So Sylvan Elder, 6 cost, 4/5. With ward, please, no more wards. No more wards for Forest. Fanfare. Give all your other allied followers 1/1 if you have at least 3 neutral cards in your hand. They really want to make Forest the new neutral card, like really, really bad. Really, really bad. This card is... It's a 6. Why would you run this over this over here? Why would you run it over Beauty and the Beast? I guess because he has Ward. Why would you run this over Aaron? I think there's just better 6-drops. Sage Commander. I guess if you're running neutral, you want this, but... Yeah, I guess this is an okay-ish replacement for Aaron in neutral, but... It's a neutral card. So, niche. Abby the Axe Girl. 2 cost, 2/2. And then full stats. Clash. Gain 2/0 until the end of the turn. So, if she doesn't die to effects, she can trade into anything. She's the answer to the power creep as well. She's the answer to the 1/4 power creep. Because when she clashes, she trades. I don't know if she'll be like meta per se, but she's a really good card. She messes with Roach pools and stuff. Maybe Tempo Forest would like her. I'm pretty sure Tempo Forest would love her, but... The clashes before the battle. Yeah, that's why. She'll be a 4/2. So, she can trade. I'm pretty sure only Tempo would like her. She'll mess with Roach pools and other decks. Control probably has better answers as well. And neutral I don't think would want her either. But I'll give her an okay rating. She's not a bad card by any means. She can trade. For an early play card, I mean, it doesn't get much better, right? Yeah, she'll kill Grimnir. She'll kill the 1/4s. All that stuff. Tempo wants Forest. I guess. Yeah, that's true. She's good in Arena. I'll give her that. I'll run her in Arena. But she's just an okay card. She's not bad, but I don't think, aside from like maybe some kind of tempo aggro, I don't see any deck that really wants her for Forest. Maybe neutral. Who knows? She kills Spiderweb imps for free. Yeah, she answers the power creep cards. That's why I like her. The 1/4s, she'll answer them. But other than that, she doesn't do very much. Alright, let's move on. Oh, but yeah, she only gets this when she's attacking another follower. So, she'll never get this when attacking face. Keep that in mind. She's only good for trading. Wood of Brambles. Countdown 2. Fanfare, put 2 fairies into your hand. Give all allied followers in play and all allied followers that come into play clash. Deal 1 damage to the enemy follower. So Wood of Brambles, it gives you fairies. It generates them. So technically it's 1 for 3, I guess. You play the Brambles and then you get 2 fairies, 3 cards. So, and then whenever you play a fairy or any follower, they deal 1 damage to the enemy follower. So you can kind of combo this with Makoto's dad, the fairy driver, and just trade. You can do that, but you have to keep in mind this takes up a slot. That's already 2 slots gone. You might still want this though. Fairy generation. And I guess an okay effect. What deck would want this? I'm not really sure what deck would want this. I'm just gonna go ahead and say tempo, I guess, because I guess it's a tempo play, maybe. You drop this on 2, you gain 2 fairies. And the amulet effect. It changes them into 2/1, yeah. And if you have the fairy driver, they're 3/1s. Only when they're trading. They're still 2/1s when they go face. You can also get free trades on things with 1 life, which is okay, I guess in a mirror match or something. So, I'm gonna go ahead and give this card a niche, I think. I'm gonna go ahead and give it a niche, just because not many things have 1 life anymore. So I don't know if you would want this. Yeah, that's true. The countdown's very low. If you play it on curve, it's only gonna trigger once. So you'll have to play the fairies and then hope. So Flower Princess. She's adorable. 4 cost, 2/4. Fanfare. Put 2 fairies into your hand. If you have 2 or less neutral cards in your hand, put a Thorn Burst and 2 fairies into your hand if there are at least 3 neutral cards in your hand. Oh snap. Oh snap. So neutral. It's another one just like the Beast. Just like Beauty and the Beast. She's okay in a normal deck, but she's even better in full neutral memes. This card is probably okay in Arena, just because anything that gives you more cards is great. They're 1/1s to be fair, but yeah. Thornburst is a 2-cost spell that does 3 damage to it. So neutral decks will probably run this, like, yeah, 3 of. Normal decks might even consider this. Just, well, nah, not really. PTP already has another fairy generator, so they probably wouldn't want this. Neutral Craft will definitely want this, though. I'll give this a niche, again, because Neutral Craft is pretty niche. Kindly Treant. A 3-cost, 2/3. This hole is in a very illegal spot. But, we'll ignore that. Fanfare. Gain 1/1 and ward if there are at least 3 neutral cards in your hand. So, Neutral Craft, Power Creeped, Grimnir, stat wards. Niche, because it's neutral. Neutral will probably run this card though. I mean, for turn 3, you're gonna have a 3/4. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I don't know if you run 3 of it though. Yeah, I have to give him niche. Every neutral card is pretty niche, just because Neutral Craft is the new territory. No one's really done anything. With Alice, it's a possibility, but who knows? Every time they tried to push Neutral Craft, Dragon's the only one that's taken advantage. Woodland Band. At the end of your turn, give all allied followers 2/2. If at least 4 followers with different names are in play, then destroy this amulet. This card is like super anti-forest, because all forest does is spam fairies. This makes them want to not spam fairies. Unfortunately, it costs 3. I think this card's pretty bad. Because you probably won't be able to play this and fill the board on one turn, and then play, like, you know. I think this is a bad card. I'm gonna go ahead and give it a bad. It works if the opponent has 4. I thought it was only yours, allied ones. Oh, okay. If it counts the opponents, then it's okay, I guess. 2/2 is quite a bit of stats as well for the full board. If you're not playing a mirror match, this card's probably okay then. I'll take that back. You play 4 fairies, your opponent's playing, let's say, aggro blood or something. They have a bat, a wolf, and a Urius. Just kill them. Now it's niche. Let's think about this one. 2/2, that's nothing to scoff at. It happens at the end of the turn though. It doesn't count the opponent's board? Oh, okay, alright. So if it counts the opponent's board, it's niche. If it doesn't count the opponent's board, it's bad. We'll go with that. The translations, man. Yeah, alright, that's my final verdict. If it counts the opponent's board, this is a niche card that might be very good. If it doesn't count the opponent, this card is awful. Let's go. No, I misclicked. Wait, that's all of them. We're done. Just kidding. Tweedledum Tweedledee. 2 cost, 2/2. What is this? Fanfare. Add 1 to the number of cards played this turn. This card is broke back. I don't like this card. So this card counts for 2 cards played this turn. Huh. Roach decks will want this, maybe. They mess with the Goblin Mage, but I guess some other decks might want this. Not just Roach decks. It costs 2, it messes with your Goblin Mages. I guess other cards... Roach isn't the only card that does this, that uses the number of cards played. There's other ones. I don't think this is very good in a Roach deck, though. For the same cost, you could just play 2 1-cost fairies, I guess. It takes up more board, but it's the same thing. It's like playing Fairy Circle in 1 card. It's better than a Fairy Circle, you think? 2 for 1 board space, maybe. I want to give this a niche so bad, but you guys will get mad. So, I'm going to go ahead and give this... I want to give it niche. I'm giving it niche. I don't care. I'm giving it niche. Just because the only decks that will really play it will be any cards that run that tree that evos. Any decks with that try to like Lily meme. Any decks that... Things that use cards like that. Those are the only decks that'll use it. Roach will probably not use it because it messes with the pulls. And they don't want that already. They already have May. Nicheverse. There are certain cards that benefit from this. I just don't think that the forest decks that benefit from this see any play though. So yeah. Alright, niche it is. Oh, whoops. Snowfield Warrior. Niche is the new bad. Niche is a nice way of saying it's bad. It's only good in like one certain scenario. That's niche. So Snowfield Warrior. A 4 cost, 3/3. Rush. Whenever this follower attacks and destroys an enemy follower, gain 1/1 if this follower is not destroyed. So for some reason, Forest really likes getting Swordcraft sloppy seconds. They did it with Jungle Albert, and now they're doing it with Geno. This is Forest Geno, pretty much. The Rush makes him okay. His effect doesn't matter too much, because he'll trade, and then... I guess you can have him trade forever if you trade into low enough things. Getting 1/1 is actually okay. If he just got 1/0, it would be kind of bad. But... with 1/1, he can just get more life. I want to say this is a good card, but there's one problem. There's just one problem. It's a turn 4. Would you really play this over your Elven Princess Mage? I guess you can have it as a backup plan. The only deck I can really see maybe liking this would be some kind of hand deck. Just because it's got Rush and it can trade into multiple things. Other than that, I don't really see many decks that would want this. You can eat Grimnir's with this. Yeah. This card's okay. It's not meta by any means. It'll be an okay arena card, and it has the potential to snowball. His art is bad. I agree with that one. I'll give this card an okay-ish rating. He's no Geno, not by a long shot. Geno's 4 makes him really annoying because he can trade into the power creep cards, but 3 can trade into a lot of stuff. So I'll give him a good rating. I think that's all of them. That is indeed all of them. Well, that'll be it for this card review. If I missed any, let me know. Overall, there are some pretty nice cards in here. There are some pretty nice cards in here. There are some scary cards as well that worry me about the future. But at least they're making a real effort. They're pushing neutral craft real hard. And not just for dragon, although this pretty much screams dragon. That they're making a real effort to try to push neutral. Which is good. Which is good. I don't really think any craft got really destroyed this time with their legendaries. They each have at least one that's okay. Right? You can argue against Fairy Dragon. You can argue against the hero and Cinderella, but I agree. I think Cinderella's good. I believe. Oh no. Dark Alice is pretty okay. Corpse Lord is not that great. Spawn of the Abyss is good. You can argue against Karabus. Lion's insane, right? And I guess Snow White is considered okay. Pretty much universally. This dude is bonkers. Alice is good. Worm? I guess Dragon got kind of hosed. You might be able to argue that Dragon legendaries aren't that good. But I mean, this thing's pretty good for Storm. And this dude is Hearthstone right here. Wizardess, I think she's really good for Daria. Abomination is D-Shift Masters. This expansion looks nice, I must say. That'll about wrap it up for me. So thanks for watching, and thanks if you sat through this entire video series about this. Sorry for my rambling. I'll do a better job next time.